What is up? How you doing? Back with another reading for Transhuman Genocide, Enemy at the Gate by Ron Johnson. Sorry it's been a while. I've been experiencing a good deal of targeting-related symptoms that have, I suppose the word would be, disabled me from any type of educating or whatever. Let's get into the reading. Oh, I just caught a fly. Look at that. I don't know if that's good luck or if it's bad luck. I just murdered a fly creature. Transhuman Genocide, Enemy at the Gate. We left off on page Phased Array Antennas, beam forming weapons. Beam-forming technology, such as 5G, involves the use of special antennas called phased array antennas to focus beams of radio frequency energy at unsuspecting targets. Phased array antennas consist of multiple antenna elements that are arranged like a grid, like HARP, HARP, and are individually controlled to adjust the phase or direction of the transmitted signal. So it looks like you've got those fucking NextRad towers, and then you've got a bunch of unsuspecting targets. People who call themselves TIs are not unsuspecting targets anymore. Page 45. The ability to dynamically control the phase of each antenna element allows for beam steering in real time. Beam forming in 5G leverages the principles of phased array antennas to steer beams for discrete targeting. They are a formidable weapon and can be smaller than a cell phone. Here is the illustration for 45. And 46. Another, this is called a magnetron weapon. Let's see, it looks like there's a circuit, an antenna, resonant cavity, radiator, heatsink, the magnet field generator, and some kind of terminal, input terminal. A magnetron utilizes the interaction between electrons and a magnetic field within a resonant cavity, best known for its use as the microwave generator in a microwave oven. Here's a basic overview of how they work. Electrons emitted from a cathode are accelerated by an electric field. Electrons move in a magnetic field created by magnets, causing them to spiral. The spiraling motions of electrons generates microwave radiation, which is propelled from the resonant cavity and directed to a target. A Vericator weapon. A Vericator, short for virtual cathode oscillator, is a type of vacuum tube microwave generator. Here's an overview of its operation. An electronic gun generates a high-velocity electron beam. The electron beam is focused onto resonant cavity, typically a cylindrical or coaxial structure. The high-velocity electrons form a virtual cathode, creating an intense electric field within the resonant cavity. The intense electric field induces the formation of electron bunches, which oscillate and emit microwave radiation. The microwave radiation is then directed from the resonant cavity to the target. The key to Vericator operation is the formation of virtual cathode, which plays a crucial role in the generation of microwave radiation. There are a bunch of different images on this page 49 here. It looks kind of really easy to build. The Vericator weapon. It looks really easy to build. You just need some fucking magnets. Vericator weapons. A varicator, or variable capacitance diode, is a programmable frequency oscillator, which means it can generate a desired frequency from a computer program by adjusting the voltage to the diode. As the voltage across the diode changes, the capacitance changes, allowing it to function as a voltage-controlled oscillator. These frequencies can then be amplified down to a barrel as it is directed towards a target. In microwave applications, varicators are often used as frequency modulators or phase shifters, but they can be enlarged and aligned with a barrel and directed with various methods such as magnets to produce portable energy weapons for military purposes. It just looks so fucking easy and simple to build. Here's one version of the varicator. And here is another view of that same looking weapon. Page 60. Free electron laser weapons. Here's the image of that. A free electron laser uses a beam of high-energy electrons to generate coherent light. Here's a simplified overview. Electrons are accelerated to high speeds using an electron gun or a linear accelerator. The high-energy electron beam passes through a magnetic undulator, which causes the electrons to oscillate. As the electrons oscillate, they emit radiation in the form of coherent light, amplifying the radiation through the undulator. The wavelength of the emitted light is tunable and can cover a broad spectrum, including microwave, infrared, and even X-ray regions. The FEL, or free electron laser, leverages the principles of synchrotron radiation and the undulator to achieve the amplification of coherent light. A free electron laser can be considered both a particle beam weapon and a radiation weapon, depending on how it is configured and the intended use. Here's a breakdown of these aspects. FEL particle beam component. Hush. Electron beam in the context of an FEL, the free electrons, are accelerated to high energies and formed into a coherent beam. This electron beam can be directed toward a target, and upon striking the target, it transfers its kinetic energy to the target material. Interaction. The high energy electrons can induce various effects, including heating, melting, and structural damage to the target. The electron beam can act as kinetic energy projectile. FEL radiation component. Electromagnetic radiation. The term laser in free electron laser refers to the fact that it produces coherent electromagnetic radiation. This radiation can span a wide range of wavelengths from infrared to X-rays, depending on the design and configuration of the FEL. Interaction. The electromagnetic radiation emitted by the FEL can interact with the matter in several ways. For shorter wavelengths, X-rays, it can ionize atoms, cause damage at the molecular and atomic levels. For longer wavelengths, infrared, it can induce heat in the target. The FEL radiation and particle beam configurations. Tunable wavelengths. One key advantage of the FELs is their tunability. The wavelength of the emitted radiation can often be adjusted, making FELs versatile for different applications, including material processing, medical imaging, and even military applications. Dual capacity. The ability to function as both a particle beam weapon, kinetic energy transfer through electrons, and a radiation weapon, electromagnetic radiation, gives FELs a unique and multifaceted capability. So far, out of all of the weapons that we've read about in Chapter 3, I feel like, and it might just be me, or it could be some V2K inspiration, but it really seems like this is the type of weapon that I experience. On one hand, I have been heated up and it feels like my whole body from head to toe or specific parts of my body is being heated up. And on the other hand, I can feel when specific organs are being targeted that I otherwise would not generally be able to feel. Just being like destroyed atomic level. It's kind of what it feels like. Amplified Spontaneous Emission Weapons, ASE. ASE devices produce a high-energy laser pulse like a laser blasting weapon from the movies instead of a prolonged beam weapon. In an ASE device, or Amplified Spontaneous Emission Device, a projector is used to produce photons until they reach their lasing threshold in the optical cavity and are amplified further in an inverted medium. These lasers can become hugely powerful in the petawatt range and can be found in places like CERN at its core. They're also well known as Polaris lasers and have a wide range of weapon applications similar to FEL lasers. That one's kind of pretty. Was that? Did I skip a page? I did not skip a page. Solid-state microwave weapons. Solid-state microwave weapons use diodes that can be integrated into LED streetlights, headlights, or as standalone weapons to generate, amplify, or modulate microwave signals. Examples include gun diodes, tunnel diodes, and varactors. Here's a general overview. Here's the image of that. Solid-state devices leverage the properties of semiconductors to generate and manipulate microwave signals in a compact and efficient manner. The negative differential resistance (NDR) characteristics of tunnel diodes can be exploited for bunker busting and other targeting purposes. Bunker busting? So you mean these fucking things can penetrate bunkers like underground and shit? That's fucked up. So Ron Johnson is saying that if the enemies with the weapons are using a solid-state microwave weapon, then there's not even any safety in a fucking bunker. Unless I'm misunderstanding what his meaning behind bunker is. Bunker busting. The ability of tunnel diodes to generate high-frequency pulses that tunnel through shielding makes them a formidable directed energy weapon, particularly in the generation of pulsed microwave emissions. And here's an image of that. You know, these panels look like the ones that they have on the NextRad towers, so maybe that's what they're using. On the NextRad towers, they might be using the solid-state microwave weapons. That's what those panels look like. Out here in the Bay Area, they have a lot of NextRad towers out here. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's crazy. Backward wave oscillator BWO weapons. The BWO is a microwave vacuum tube that generates coherent and visible laser-like radiation in the backward wave mode. Here is a brief explanation. And here is the image of this. I think that's... The The BWO consists of an electron gun, a slow wave structure, and an output cavity. The electron beam is generated by the electron gun. The electron beam interacts with the slow wave structure, which is designed to support backward traveling electromagnetic waves. The backward traveling wave interacts with the electron beam, causing energy transfer and amplification. The amplified signal is directed from the output cavity to the target. The key to BWO operation is the backward traveling wave, which allows for the amplification of microwave signals through the interaction with the electron beam. Why do all of these, some of them just look really simple. Some of them look so simple that you could just build this shit with fucking components you could buy at a thrift shop. Page 68. Ooh, this one's huge though. A backward wave oscillator, BWO, is a HPM source capable of producing very high peak power. It comprises a cathode, a vacuum tube where electrons propagate, a slow wave structure, a set of solenoids that generate a magnetic field to focus the electron beam. When the cathode is excited by hundreds of kilovolts or kV from the pulsed power supply, it will emit electron beams into the vacuum tube. Once the electrons leave the cathode, they will start to diverge and spread. The magnetic field from the solenoid keeps the electrons near the center of the vacuum tube. Particle beam weapons. Various technologies that accelerate particles, such as protons, neutrons, and electrons, are being exploited and used by the defense industry. These types of weapon concepts are as follows. Linear accelerators, LINACs. Linear accelerators can be adapted for use in directed energy weapons such as high-power microwave, HPM, devices for killing, torturing, and disrupting electronics or communication systems. Okay. I'm definitely starting to lean towards my personal targeting being done by something similar to a particle beam weapon. Here's what that looks like. Page 70. Cyclotrons. Cyclotrons can be used for isotope production in medical applications, but they can also potentially serve as components of directed energy weapons for specific military applications. Synchrotrons. Synchrotrons are powerful tools for research, but their high-energy beams are being used for defense applications such as electronic warfare or antipersonnel systems. Spallation neutron sources. Spallation sources, while primarily used for neutron research, can be used for certain defense applications such as disrupting or damaging humans and materials. Radiography accelerators. Accelerators used for industrial radiography will have applications in defense systems, such as seeing through shielded environments and bunkers, or disabling electronic components. Van Graaff accelerators. While less common in modern applications, Van de Graaff accelerators can potentially be adapted for specific defense purposes, according to experts. It's not very specific. Page 71. Proton therapy cyclotrons. Cyclotrons used in photon therapy have dual use potential in areas such as radiation hardened communication systems. Radiation therapy linear accelerators. Linear accelerators used in radiation therapy have dual use applications for directed energy weapons or systems designed for electronic warfare. The image below is the inner core of a portable linear accelerator. A very nasty weapon, to say the least. And here is a kind of blurry image. '72. Visible laser weapons. Ruby lasers. Or red 694 nm. Historically, one of the first lasers developed, but they are not commonly used in military applications due to their relatively low efficiency and bulkiness. YAG or YAG lasers, infrared 1064 nm, with harmonics. YAG lasers can be frequency doubled or tripled to produce green 532 nm or blue 355 nm light, respectively. These are used in some laser designators and rangefinders. Invisible laser weapons. There's nothing under invisible laser weapons. There's nothing there. It's just blank. Check it. Invisible laser weapons, and there's just maybe he don't fucking know. He's like, they exist, but I don't know about any. Let's just put it on the page anyway. Infrared lasers is blank as well, but there are a couple underneath it. So we've got a CO2 lasers, 10.6. High-powered CO2 lasers are often used in industrial applications, but are too large for most military platforms. Quantum cascade lasers are mid-IR range. These lasers can cover the mid-infrared range and are used in some military applications, including spectroscopy and sensing. Fiber lasers. Solid-state fiber lasers can operate in the near-infrared and have potential applications in directed energy weapons. Diode-pumped alkali lasers. These lasers are being developed for high-power applications such as missile defense. Ultraviolet lasers. Blink. Unless it's the one underneath it. Excimer lasers. These lasers are used in industrial applications and can be used for precision material removal. UV lasers can have a potential in directed energy applications. Solid-state UV lasers. Some solid-state lasers, such as frequency quadrupled ND:YAG lasers, can produce ultraviolet light and have applications in scientific and military fields. Fiber lasers. Fiber lasers can cover a wide range of wavelengths and are known for their high efficiency and beam quality. They are used in various military and industrial applications. Solid-state lasers. Solid-state lasers, including diode-pumped solid-state lasers, DPSSL, are versatile and can cover a range of wavelengths. They are used in various military applications, including directed energy weapons and rangefinders. The image below is the barrel of a Bofors HPM blackout system by BAE, or BAE. Damn it, BAE. Researching these weapons on the IEEE website will give you more info. And that's the image of that one. All right. That is chapter 3 of Transhuman Genocide, Enemy at the Gate by Ron Johnson. I just want to reiterate that the information here in this book and the opinions here in this book are not mine. I am simply reading the book and sharing the information that this person, Ron Johnson, seems to have gathered. And, as a TI, I'm kind of unable to verify the information is legitimate. However, there are some things that really stick out to me in my experience as a TI, so just keep it together out there and try to be mindful. And stay safe out there. We'll catch you soon for chapter 4.